adjust my audio just a little bit. And I'm playing Naval Action again today because I love this game so much. Gonna cut that echo. Also gonna pour myself a little something to drink. So today I am starting out of Pittstown in the Bahamas again. And I have recently learned a very important lesson, which is check where the patrol mission is. Yesterday I tried to move some goods up to Nassau, and the patrol was in Nassau, and I got ganked and lost all my trade goods twice. I'm very good at this. I ended up talking with the person who sunk me, who was very sportsmanlike about it. It was pretty good. Not the most, thrilling, but there are setbacks, and that's just part of it. So I think what I'm going to do today is, let's see, my Indiaman is full of goods I need to take down to Mortimertown to sell or turn into shipbuilding. I really want to try this Trincomalee. I haven't tried it before. It's a 5th rate. The actual Trincomalee, I think, is the oldest ship in the Royal Navy still afloat. I have one problem, which is that I need to put some cannons on it. So let me get some. 28 4th class cannons. Only mediums. That'll be okay. Let's just buy some. And then 26 6th class, I believe. Yeah. 6th class cannons. Also only mediums. Get 26 of them. Should be fine. So I'll put all this on it. I'll put some repairs. Let's get 50 of them. Let's get 80 of those. Let's get 40 of those. Hull repairs rum, which repairs crew, and rig repairs. Now where are my cannons? 18 pounders. The 9 pounders. And then a few 9 pounders as bow chasers. I've got a few upgrades on this. Let's take it out and see what it's like. Drinking Balvenie 12-year double wood. It's a very nice. All right. That's a Spanish trader's snow. Let's hunt it. And that is a British frigate with 6 accompanying ships, so let's ignore it. So the Trincomalee has this very nice white stripe. We have a, maybe kind of racist bow figure. It's hard to see. And the name of the ship on the back. Trincomalee is a city in Sri Lanka, so I'm guessing that it is kind of a racist bow figure, given the period, that it's some kind of caricature of someone from Sri Lanka. And coming up to the trader's snow. Close chat. They seem almost dead in the water. But they're not. I was just moving faster. The Gazelle bow figure that this is equipped with improves its speed a little bit. I like that the symbolism of the bow figures matters. There's also an elephant and a rattlesnake and things like that. Alright. Let's start this attack. should be in a pretty good position. There we go. It's a very sweet scotch. Very caramelly. I like it. Alright, let's make all sail. All the sail we can. We don't have enough crew to man every position, which is kind of normal on a ship like this, so I'm going to turn off some of my cannons. I'm going to tell the crew to ignore the cannon on one side. And this now should prove no trouble. This is really just to sort of do shakedown maneuvers for this thing. See how it behaves. Look at that dolphin striker. The bowsprit. Oops. Let's actually reload the front cannons. I'm going to try putting chain in there. Alright. Let's turn, because I'm a little bit more into the wind than I would like to be. 4 bow chasers is actually really impressive. Like, if you look at that, it's a little hard to see in the dark, but I've got a number of them there, shooting right through the spritzel, so I don't know how that works. But 4 chain shots is going to really help me hunt with this thing. Coming round, loading chain, bringing this to bear. Let's fire them one at a time. And missed with a few of them. That's okay. Shakedown maneuvers, as I say. Just getting used to this thing. It's a 5th rate, but I think it's a pretty effective 5th rate. It's a little hard going from the Indefatigable, which is such a heavily armed 5th rate, back down to sort of normal ones. Oh, I have to take out my Xebeck, le Requin, the shark. They just added this to the game. It's a 5th rate. It's a very different sail plan, and it sails very differently. So once I'm done with this, I will show you that. It's a rather beautiful model, too. They've given it red sails. Alright. That should make the sails be pretty well destroyed, 74%. Let's come up alongside them, give them a decent broadside, see how that goes. Making 11 knots, that's pretty great. That was a good broadside. Let's cut our staysails, slow down just a bit, keep pace with them. So yeah, named after a city in Sri Lanka, there was a major naval engagement there, and I don't know anything about it, but I do know that they chose to honor that engagement with a ship name. Alright, I have no stern chasers, so that's an awkward moment. We got a little bit of a stern rake in. And bringing my other side around. With their sails this damaged, no wonder they're going slowly. Let me bring my sails down. Oh, hey. Sail colors in Port when. Derspiny says something that is completely obscure to me and I don't understand it at all. But I'm sure I'll figure it out eventually. Yeah, I got this thing almost in irons. Does not sail into the wind super well. But let's send the sailors running back and forth across. When will we be able to change our sail colors ourselves? Oh, I don't know. I don't know if sail colors are even on the agenda. I know that paint for the ship itself is. That did pretty okay. Yeah, I could get used to these broadsides. I'm gonna take some folks off of sailing because I don't need to have like tons of sailors changing the yards and the rigging. Sail colors in port when? I don't understand how that means what you say it means. It's okay though, it's okay. Be fine. I've been grabbing things off of some AI ships a lot lately, and turns out lots of good things there. I have learned that you can, in fact, board and capture AI ships, and further, if you sink a ship and try to take stuff from it, you get slightly less than if you don't sink it, because goods get water damaged. So this is very small compared to my broadside, so I'm just gonna have to be okay with half my broadside going over it. Let's see if any of these hit. One. It's okay. They're pretty heavily damaged. I've got 4 sailors trying desperately to lower the sails. So let me actually tell some people to get off of manning cannons on the wrong side of the world. I should double check the wood on this to get a sense of how resistant it actually is and how much that's, you know, the wood choice. I hope they're not going to try and board me. That would be very dumb of them. Don't board me. But yeah, I've been boarding AIs more often, especially when you outnumber them that much. Like they're 32 crew and I have 323 crew. Like I literally outnumber them 10 to 1. It makes a lot of sense to just damage them enough, get in close, board them. It's a lot quicker than trying to shoot them to bits. Maybe you get less XP for it, but you get more trade goods, so that's the decision to make. Let's see. Coming around to this side. And again, most of this broadside is going to go past them fore and aft, but enough of it hit that it was worth it. Alright. Gotta get a few people back on the guns. It's really not a great idea in a ship this size to slow down this much, because getting back to speed and maneuverability is very difficult, but oh well. I did it. I want to just sink this snow, but I guess I could actually prepare to board. That wouldn't be a bad idea, given what I was just saying about boarding. I'll need to slow them down, and I already outnumber them enough, so I don't even need to, like, do any firing of grape shot to kill crew. And nuzzling them upwind. Boarding possible. Let's get a little bit more preparation, just in case. Let's also get some folks up into the rigging, because if we're boarding, then we actually need to sail. Pay attention to that. Gonna get off one more broadside. There we go. Alright, not just going to do boarding. Lovingly guiding them upwind and also directly into your hold. Exactly. So here is the boarding minigame, which I haven't actually streamed before. If Haunts shows up, it'll answer his questions. When I outnumber them this grossly, I will just start by saying, I'll attack, and then last minute, while they're busy defending, I will switch to firing the deck guns, which is brutally effective against defense. Killed 19 to their 1. Reduce their morale. Now I'm going to actually straight up attack, because if you attack when their morale is 0, and attack successfully, you win the boarding. And this is going to be the shortest, most effective, outnumbering them 10 to 1 boarding exercise ever. And now, I'll put some folks on the Snow, and I will take it. Oops, let me just actually do that. Yeah? Is that captured? Good. And now, let's sail back with our prize to harbor and sell that tobacco eventually. Yeah, 316 versus 11 is not much of a fight. This is exactly true. It's, yeah, only 81 XP and no extra gold out of it, so yeah, you get gold just for destroying enemy ships. But it's practice at boarding, which I'm not great at, so that's nice for its own sake. And we're totally within sight of Pitt, so... Yeah, so when I was getting ganked, it was over this way, headed towards Deadman's Key, because that is in the Nassau patrol area. Nassau up here in New Providence. And so, the last Templar, who's a British player, was attacking me repeatedly around these islands. And, as I say, he was very sporting about it. Today, the patrol mission is in Tumbado, which is over here by the Yucatan, so I don't need to worry about people getting PvP marks for patrol by hunting me. And here's the cat. He's very large and fluffy, and kind of needy. And is that a sandbar? Is that lag? No, it's the wind shifting into my face. So yeah, I've got the fleet perks, so I can have up to 3 ships at a time, which is nice because then you can just capture an enemy AI ship, like that, and take it with you. In actual battle, it can be useful to have a free fleet spot for that sort of thing. But actual human captains are pretty good at, like, avoiding a stupid boarding situation. So, I don't know. Mostly when I've engaged in real battles, it's been with a full fleet or with all of my sailors accounted for. There we go. Finally made it to Pittstown. So, let's go to our fleet. Let's take this tobacco out of our hold. There we go, tobacco. Let's repair this for 1,000 gold. And then let's move it to docks. And then let's repair our Trincomalee. And let's go to that trader's snow that we just took and sell it for, not quite 15,000. Oops. Let's take the cannons off of it and sell them separately. And sell it for, 13,000. Meanwhile, I'm actually going to sell those cannons too. I think I'm going to sell them. What are they? 6-pounders. There we go. Can sell them for 1 gold each. It's a windfall. And eventually a button will show up that says yes. Okay. So now, let's take a look at that Xebeck. Le Requin, the shark. Go to equipment. Got instructions au canonnier, but I want to try Pelu's Sights, a new book I have just learned. And I'm not quite to the next slot, so it'll be fine. Oh, let's get some repairs on it. I don't really know what an appropriate number of repairs of various sorts might be, but I think 50 hull repair, 80-ish rum, 40-ish rig should be fine for a ship like this. I'm running low on repairs, oh no. And let's maybe add something to my fleet, because that seems like it would be good. So yeah, using up all but 10 of my crew. Let's grab a mission. Fleet combat order. Let's just grab a quick plunderer 5th rate mission. See where it is on the map. Pretty close to Pittstown. Gonna sail out, and if I spot an AI to hunt, I'll hunt an AI. But here's what I've got to show off. Look at this. Isn't this gorgeous? Even more so with its sails out. So the Xebeck is a design common in the Mediterranean. I'm pointing the right way already. Awesome. I think it grew out of Italianate and Arab ship designs. As you can see, there's only 1 sail per mast. They're all lateen rigged. That makes it a lot harder to fine-tune your speed. You also don't get these sort of high altitude winds that you do with really tall masts. But the whole thing is somewhat cheaper and easier to build. And it's a surprisingly shallow draft for how well gunned it is, well armed. You'll see when I get into a battle instance that it behaves strangely. Because you can't adjust your speed without, adjusting the angle of your yards, which also turns you, it gets to be a slightly sort of ADD ship. You just whiz by and then think, oh right, and come back and, give them another broadside. But it is gorgeous. Can you imagine seeing something like that coming in to harbor? Or from this side? And the red sails just really set it off nicely. Derspiny says it reads as Middle Eastern to me, and I haven't the foggiest idea what that is. And you're not wrong. It evolved partially from the Dhow, which is, Middle Eastern design. The lateen sail, lateen comes from Latin. It was an Italianate idea. So, it is the product of cultural contact, as so much in the naval world is. How far away is this? Yeah, most of the way to Ragged. Okay. Just as long as we don't get ganked. But it is quiet out here today. There we go. I remember fondly seeing lots of dhows out on the water when I was in Zanzibar. Oh, is that? No, that's an AI. Yeah, there's still lots of dhows used in Zanzibar, carrying things back and forth and fishing and stuff like that. It is really a beautiful kind of triangular sail design. Alright, coming up to this Mercury. The Mercury is... What's the Mercury? I'm going to look it up real quick. Mercury is a 6th rate, so I should be pretty heavily outgunning it, but not as badly as this now. And when I hop out of this combat, I'll be close enough to that 5th rate combat, so we'll try to get both. I don't like to take the Requin out just on its own, because it does, you know, have that ADD quality, and that's a little difficult to manage on its own. Ooh, I'm going to be downwind of them. They have the weather gauge. But yeah, the Requin on its own is just a little wonky. Where are... Oh, they're right there. Alright, we can do this. It only has 2 modes. So I hit S, and I'm at full stop, and I hit W, and I'm at full sail. I'm going to keep it on ball. I'm going to tell my consort to demast them, so that they'll be more or less dead in the water. And we'll see how this goes. One of the things about the Requin is that it sails pretty well into the wind and pretty well downwind. I think its strongest point is on a beam reach, though. But it's actually really hard to get up close to a disabled ship in it, because you can't sort of ease in, go slowly, so you can't fill your hold with all of their juicy hold meats or goods or whatever. But look at that, just clicking right up to 12.5 knots on this beam reach. And look at that, I've got 4 bow chasers. So this thing is really low to the water, which can be nice. You got less heel to worry about often. And I fired just a bit short. But it's, you know, it's making 9 knots almost directly into the wind. Let's cross the wind. Still doing just fine. On a port, when the wind is coming over the starboard gunnels, you'll see that the sails push into the masts, but in this direction they're beautifully furled out. And a lot of chain just went firing into the water. Oh well. Yeah, I'm only making 10 knots downwind like this. Which feels slow after the, you know, breezing up to 12 on a beam reach. But it's still pretty okay. Like, I get down to the deck, I'm impressed at the speed of it. And it is lower than I am expecting. Oh well. If you want to turn tightly in it, you can kind of do the same thing, but it doesn't quite. Like, you have to adjust the sails a little bit more precisely than you did with a square-rigged ship. There we go. That's 4 hits on the hull. Sails are starting to show a little damage. But this Mercury is doing pretty okay. Yeah, this is where I want to be. I'm pretty parallel with them, going at about the same speed. I think I should be able to get off a few more good broadsides and really reduce their effectiveness. If Torquil Viegas doesn't destroy my own sails first. That's actually another nice thing about this Xebeck, the sails are a little harder to hit with chain shot sometimes, because they don't have any staysails or anything like that, so you can completely hide your sails from your enemy. Come on. Yeah. Just gonna tell the Trincomalee to destroy, because I actually don't want them to be moving slowly. I want them to be moving as fast as I am. This will be a whole high-speed keeping pace thing. Oof. That's pretty good. 12 solid hits, crew shock, well, reload shock. They're beating me up pretty okay, but I'm wrecking their side. So yeah, keeping pace with them rather than trying to slow them down and outmaneuver them seems to be working better for me on this. You can see how low it is in the water. You can see those 4 bow chasers mounted on a crossbeam right up there. And let's come in for one more broadside. Another good 12 hits. Alright. Of course, as you sink something, it's inevitably going to slow down once it starts getting leaks and all, so I'll just have to spin around it and do the ADD thing that I described. And this... oh, the stern. It's just gorgeous. There's this long, long stern. You can see there's like an elevated platform back there, and I don't know quite what that might be for. Because it's full of holes. So, mysterious. Come on. Alright. Didn't get all of those hits in, but... oh, there you see. That's the sails pressing into the masts that I described. So, I'm going to cross the wind, turn the sails. They're going to go whoomph out in the other direction. The sound of that actually happening would be just wonderful. And they're pretty much in irons, so that was smooth on their part. Alright. I'm going to have to loop around, let the Trincomalee handle it. So, if I'm going... while that happens, let me just ignore the ignore the Mercury for a moment and just talk about sailing. So if I'm going along at a pretty decent 12 knots on this broad reach, and I want to slow down, I can't totally ignore them. Yeah, I can totally ignore them. I want to slow down. One of the things I can do is angle my sails out so they're getting less of the wind. And that slows me down pretty okay. Can angle them back in. And that is going to slow me down, but also turn me, because I have all of this massive sail receiving wind pressure forward of the middle of the vessel. Yeah, those were pot shots. Alright, I'm going to set my sails back to auto skipper and move quickly, but I'm going to use my rudder. But yeah, if I try and straighten my sails out, that'll end up turning me around my axis, while also slowing me down a little. I haven't fully figured it out, so like anything I say about the Xebeck, take with appropriate grains of salt. Ranging shot. Ooh, just short. Alright. So yeah, I haven't fully figured it out. I don't quite know where its fastest points of sail are. I don't know much about it. But I'm enjoying it. I think it's a really pretty ship. Alright. Let's move this way. Does that help? That won't help. There's no reason that would help. I think I just need to get speed and whip around through the wind. Whip through the wind. It would be interesting to sail on something like this. Let's look at how well this sails almost directly into the wind. There are a lot of uses for that if you're hunting. It's a shame to see something just this gorgeously decorated, like getting hit by cannonballs, though. Alright, let's bring this around. Get some good hits in on their unprotected side. I mean, mostly damaged side. Oh no, totally no armor side. Nice. I don't know why, but the Xebeck also just looks maneuverable somehow. Like... that did okay. Yeah. 8 of those hits landed. I'm a little apprehensive about actually bringing this into a 5th rate mission, though. It feels a little bit lightly armed for that. One more broadside should do it. If they'll actually get around to reloading. One of the nice things about it compared to a lot of the other 5th rates, though, is that it does have enough crew, which is not always the case. Yeah, it was sloppy. I kind of used techniques that I'm used to from other actual square-rigged 5th rates, trying to slow down around that curve. It's okay, though. I'll bring this around, and we'll see. So, I've been doing a fair amount of merchanting, aside from that bit where the same British player ganked me twice and stole all my goods and all that. And I'm really not sore about it. Like, I'm really, you know... It turned out to be amusing. I mean, it was my own damn fault for not knowing where the patrol was. But yeah, that's been a great way to make some money moving goods. Often those goods are pirated, because we're pirates, right? So it's like find a snow, typically an AI snow, and take all the things off of it, and then take them and sell them yourself, right? Oh! Unmasted! Well, that's gonna complicate matters. Alright. We got them. Let's leave the battle. And the loading screens. Man, what you can do. Well, let's see. If I can find... Oh, there's the mark. Let's repair things real quick, if I can press the right key, which is not escape. Let's repair things and try for the 5th rate mission. If we have to run, we have to run. It won't be the first time, but I really don't want to lose this ship just because it's beautiful, right? So, I need to be a little extra cautious about it. Sails, sails, sails. Manage crew. That'll be fine. Who's that? That's a Scent Pavel with 3 large and 3 medium. All right, that is well outside of what I want to do on my own. Might be nice to get some ships of the line and some clanmates together and try and take that. I've been seeing that little British fleet wandering around these waters a lot, so it's an AI fleet. I feel totally fine about just being nakedly hostile towards it. And we're close enough, and the 20-second timer, well, the 1-minute timer, whatever, already hasn't finished. So I'm going to plot my return course, double-click the protractor, right-click where you want to go, look on the compass. All right, so I need to go about northeast once I am done with this. That'll get me back to Pittstown. I've been getting to play with some of the aforementioned clanmates. What? Nope. This is running away. This is not what I meant to do at all. I'm not up for a 4-on-2 with them all being pretty well decked out. All right then. Did I accidentally click a fleet mission? I think I might have accidentally clicked a fleet mission. Bravely bold Sir Rogelio. Yep. Running away. That is retreat. Retreat. And I'm going to retreat in a different direction. Make them split up. Huh. It's like, if I can do a good number of knots into the wind, they probably can't. This should be okay. Yeah, that was a mistake. I mean, luckily they're all AIs, and AIs are notorious for not being the sharpest. So. And we have a bit of a lead because we're setting off to do this right away. All right. Well, this makes for exciting TV, I'm sure, or streaming, as the case may be. You've always wanted to see a pirate just run away from a bunch of ships, haven't you? I don't want to lose the Trincomalee either. I mean, it's a really nice ship. So yeah, the Victory is not afloat, but is still around. You can go down, I think, to Portsmouth to see it. I don't know where the Trincomalee is at, but it, I don't think sails much, but it is technically still afloat. It's not in dry dock, so. So what determines when the counter says cannot leave like that? I believe that proximity to other ships is part of it, so they're still a bit too close. So you need to be sort of getting away from them. It's possible also that just battle start counts as firing for leaving purposes. I kind of don't want to leave until I know that the Trincomalee is out. So I'm going to hold on. I'm going to just keep some stern chasers with chain shot available in case. But I'm making a very good, almost 13 knots into the wind. This thing's ridiculous. Like, straight up, there's no way they'll catch me. So I'm imagining that in about 10 seconds, the Trincomalee will be able to go, and I'll be able to go, and we'll pretend that this never happened. Hello, Icorn. I'm guessing that, oh, wait, Trincomalee escaped? That means I'm gonna escape. Oh, Der Spiny, I got into a fight with one of these in a Princeton It was impossible to pull away. Yeah, so, well, that's the thing about the Xebeck. It is it's a fifth rate, but it sails into the wind like a sixth or an unrated. Like, it's very much like a fore and aft rigged vessel, so you can get boarded and sunk in the end pretty easily by it. Alright. Port battle timer? Is there a port battle threatening somewhere? Looks like there's some hostility being generated around Salina Point. Yeah, so to take a port, you need to do hostility missions near it. Build up hostility. Once hostility hits 100%, you have a port battle scheduled the next day within that port's port battle window if it has one set. I'll show you on the mission screen real quick. But Salina Point is Prussian held, and it's a sore spot because, along with bits of Turks and Caicos, the pirates kind of want all of this. I mean, we also want this in northern Hispaniola, but whatever. Salina is a great port for Prussians to come and harass our shipping. So we keep talking about taking it. It hasn't happened yet, hasn't worked yet, but one of these days, Salina Point must belong to the Grand Pirate Nation. So yeah, the Le Requin, this Xebeck, was just added to the game, so a lot of people are sailing it, having gotten it through the redeemables system, because they add a new ship. They're just like, hey, everyone try it out. And I'm really enjoying it. Yeah. But a lot of other people are also enjoying it for hunting. I think if you're a bit more confident than I am, you can probably use it pretty effectively against larger ships as well, because its speed and maneuverability and ability to go up into the wind leaves it pretty good for getting in some stern rakes and just destroying their sails and stuff. Der Spiny says, I feel like Salina Point was pirate briefly and then the Prussians took it back. That's possible. I might have just not been on those days. I mean, there's also the whole northern Bahamas, which are a mess of Spanish, British, Swedish, and American. And, all of this should be pirates by rights, clearly. I mean, we somehow have a moral right to the Bahamas. Not sure how that works. A lot of the Bahamas, as you can see on the map here with this paler blue, is shallow also, meaning that it's sixth rates and unrated, and anything else will run aground, just won't be able to sail there. This area of the Bahamas where I am supports deeper draft ships. But that means that it's good for, light, fast, very different kind of play, not the big-ass ship of the line thing. Der Spiny knows how to make me chuckle. He says, by rights, let's talk about the relationship between piracy and de jure claims. Yeah, I mean, the fact that pirates function as a nation in this game is, of course, very politically complicated. Hostis humani generis and all that, being labeled as the enemy of all civilized nations just because we take their stuff and kill them? I don't know. Of course, the way this game works, all the nations do that. Do I need to repair anything? No, because I repaired at sea before getting into that very wrong mission. So yeah, you've got patrol, changes every day where it's at. You've got combat orders, which are against one thing, You have fleet combat orders, which are against a few things. And you have hostility orders, which let you say, I want French ports. I want this French port, or whatever. I'm not going to do that, because I don't even know where North Inlet is. Let's find out. On the map, port and county search. North Inlet. Oh. Well, that's interesting. Kidd's Island. I'm guessing that's as in Captain Kidd, and I'm guessing that is about where our secret treasure island is. Icorn says, how'd you and Mortis get on? Yeah, I was sailing with a clanmate earlier. We had a good bit. We hunted some AIs, and then we saw a British enemy player going by, and we hunted them. We hunted them as best we could down from near pits down to Salina, but they just kept outpacing us. And when they passed the islands down here by Salina, we just had to give up and turn around. They were very fast. We were in some decent ships, sailing at a good point of sail, but they just outpaced us, and it was exciting. It was giving good chase, but not, in the end, successful. So, back to the map here. Got some Spanish gold coins. I have some tobacco. Let's see where any of those might sell. So you can go to Trader Tool. You can put in either a port, like, let's say, Mortimer Town, and see what you can buy and sell things for there. Or you can put in a trade good, like tobacco. You can adjust the distance, like I only want to sell to places within about 88 kilometers, I'm guessing. You can also sort by sell and buy, so tobacco sells pretty well in Mortimer Town. The C with a dot indicates that it's consumed there, which means the price is generally high. The A and the P basically mean it's produced there, and you're not going to expect to get as much from it. Let's see, if I move this distance out, Mortimer is still one of the highest prices. In fact, globally, it's within 4 units of the highest price. So I'm going to take that tobacco down to Mortimer Town. Nautical miles, not kilometers. Yeah, that would make more sense. I don't actually know what units the map is in or anything's in. I mean, when you're in a battle, it's measuring stuff in meters, so, they might be a little bit SI before SI is a thing. So yeah, Le Requin is fun. I need to unlock some more knowledges on it, but it's slow going because I'm so protective of it. If I go back to the fleet, I picked up some fish and some salt, which will turn into provisions to build more ships. I'm going to move this back to the docks. And I feel like I might take it out again. Coming up on an hour here, though, so I think I'm actually going to call it for tonight. And thank you for stopping by. And I will continue to see you on the open seas.